The story which I would like to tell you today is from the Katha Upanishad. It's the story of Nachiketa. आपने सुना है? नाम सुना है ना? So Nachiketa was a young boy. He was the son of a rishi called Vajashravas. And this young boy may be 12 years old, but he teaches us very profound lessons, as you will see. What exactly the story is like, it's a story which teaches you so much about how to enter self-knowledge, how to get self-knowledge, and so many ideas are given to you. So the story about Nachiketa has a lot to teach us. So carefully just follow it. The Nachiketa's father, Vajashravas Rishi, he was conducting a sacrifice, and as part of that yajna, dakshina dete hai na, they give gifts to Brahmins and all that. So he saw that his father was giving out cows, and very old cows which were not capable of yielding milk, this kind of cattle he was giving out. So Nachiketa suddenly thought that in a sacrifice the best things are to be given out, isn't it? Because it's an offering to God. And how is it that he is giving out such things? So it is actually described as Shraddha Avivesha, which means Shraddha entered this boy. The sincerity, the seriousness in this young lad, look at this. He immediately goes and asks his father, the question that is put there is, to whom will you give me in that case? You are giving out such gifts. And then the father gets angry and he says, I will give you to Lord Yama. And then the story goes that he goes to the abode of Yama, and then there is this very beautiful conversation between him and Yama, which is the Katha Upanishad. Sometime when you get time, later on in life also, you can read Katha Upanishad. It's something very powerful with a number of illuminating ideas. So what happens is a kind of confidence comes into this boy due to the clarity of his vision. You see, first of all, immediately he understands that what his father is doing in the sacrifice is not the right thing to do. Due to that, he has gone and questioned. You know how confidence is born? What gave this son the confidence to challenge his father in a right? Confidence is born when you have a clarity of vision, when you have a deep sense of right and wrong. Then naturally confidence will come into your personality. So this made him challenge his father, and then whatever his father said, immediately he has been able to go and actually asking Yama means what? Trying to get the highest truths of life. This has been put in a story format. And when the conversation started, actually when he goes to the abode of Yama, for 3 days it seems Yama is not there. So this boy patiently waits outside. Yama is on one of his rounds, maybe collecting souls, and he stays outside without food and drink, and he doesn't turn back. He waits, persistence, perseverance. And then when Yama comes, he tells him that I have made a Brahmin wait for 3 days and 3 nights without food, so this is not good for me, so ask 3 boons from me, whatever you want, ask. The first boon which Nachiketa asks is, well, make my father peaceful, make him happy, make him do the right things, and when I return back, make him accept me. See, the very first boon is for the father. The second boon which he asks is regarding a sacrifice. It's called Nachiketa sacrifice. It's actually a vidya, a kind of upasana technique, but we won't go into that now. But the third boon is what is very interesting, most important to us. The third boon which he asks is, tell me about death, so that I will understand life. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushye astiti eke nayam astiti chaike etad vidya anushishtas tvayaham varana mesha varasthritiya, he says. Which means, I want to know what survives man when the body falls. What is it that is carried forward? Some say that he exists, some say he no longer exists after his death. Tell me the truth about this. Now as soon as Yama hears this, he starts telling him, well son, you ask for something else, because this is a very subtle truth which even the gods are confused about. They don't know, this Indra, Varuna, all these deities, gods that is, the lesser gods, they do not know this truth. So there's a lot of confusion about it. So ask for something else. And then he offers him very many things, each one of which Nachiketa discards. Shatayusha putra pautran vrineshva, bahun pashun hasti hiranyam ashwan, bhumir mahadayatanam vrineshva, swayam cha jiva sharado yavadichyasi. All these are the boons, which means ask to live for 100 years, ask for anything of this earth, for children and grandchildren and gold and wealth and the best of life, and as long as you wish to live. But for everything, Nachiketa says that, the conclusion he comes to, he says, Sarvendriyanam jarayanti teja. What do all these pleasures do for me? You see, this is the thing which we should observe here. Sarvendriyanam jarayanti teja. It removes the vitality of my senses. It removes my energy actually. Too much indulgence. So you see what it does to you. So he comes to this conclusion that after all this, it is doing this to me. So I don't want all of this. Please give me the answer to this question which I have asked. And then Yama is very surprised seeing the persistence of this boy. And then he embarks on this very beautiful, it's a sort of monologue in which he goes on giving the teaching on self-knowledge, which is very interesting. I will give you some portion of it here. That's all we can do. So the first thing is one of the first ideas he gives him. I have only chosen those ideas which will be useful to you as students. You see, Shreyas and Preyas की जो idea है, Shreya and Preya, आपने सुना होगा, हिंदी में ये शब्द है. He gives him that idea. It's straight from the Upanishads. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametat tau samparitya vivinakti dhira Shreyo hi dhiro bhi preyaso vrinite preyo mando yoga kshemad vrinite. Which means to say, you see, you have asked for a kind of discrimination between what is Shreyaskar and what is Preyaskar. Shreya हम किसे कहते हैं? What do we call Shreya? That which is good, that which is preferable. Preya is that which is not so good, just pleasant maybe, and that which is pleasurable. So between the preferable and the pleasurable, the preferable is to be chosen. This is the teaching. He says that a man of discrimination will make sure that he seeks out Shreyas, and the man who just wants to satisfy his immediate gratifications will go in for Preyas. So देखिए ये बहुत important idea है, especially in decision making, in all these things. If you are not able to distinguish between the good and the pleasant, you will conclude the pleasant is good, isn't it? Usually it is not. See this for yourself. These two, this is a very defining idea of the Indian culture. Everything that is pleasant is not everything that is good always. The two are different. Good is different from pleasure. Goodness is different from pleasure, and Shreyas is different from Preyas. So if you can't even demarcate between the two, how are you going to make a decision? So this is a very important idea given in this Upanishad. You can read more about it. I told you, if you go to the source material and the commentaries on it in Katha Upanishad itself. And then he says that since you have chosen Shreyas, I will give you the knowledge of the self. I will tell you about the self. But this knowledge, ये बहुत विरल है. It is very rare. Shravanayapi bahubhir yona labhyo Shrinvantopi bahavo yamna vidyuhu Ascharyo vakta kushalo se labdha, which means many people don't get to hear of it also, isn't it? Do you hear about the Atman या आत्म तत्व क्या चीज है? इसके बारे में हम आजकल सुनते हैं क्या? It is not even available for hearing, especially from your educational apparatus. So this is exactly what he is saying. You don't even get to hear of it, and those who get to hear of it also will not understand it, will not know about it. How is it to be known? Ascharyo vakta kushalosya labdha, which means from a very qualified teacher it is to be heard, and then even the student should be of that type, because actually spiritual teaching, it's a matter of transmission, it's a matter of giving. One mind transmits to another mind. It's not just telling something. It's not even about talking, about lectures. So the thing is to tune in to a mind of that order. And then this knowledge can be transmitted. So he finds in Nachiketa such a pupil actually, one who is able to do that. So you see, Nachiketa is a very good model for youth, asking for the higher truths of life by oneself through one's own discrimination. So this is what he embodies, and then he starts telling him that there are, you see, actual methodologies in the Katha Upanishad to reach the truth of the self. One of which is Sarve Veda Yat Padamamananti Tapansi Sarvani Cha Yad Vadanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om iti etat, he says. How to meditate on this Om, that which everyone is seeking, all austere people seek, that which the Vedas are expounding, that seeking which people practice brahmacharya and all these disciplines. I will tell you very briefly, that is Om. And then he teaches him the meditation on Om. मैं आपको एक एक ग्लिम्स दे रही हूँ कि इस उपनिषद में क्या है और आप कैसे डाइव कर सकते हो. Do you know what actually Om is? Om is your real name. If you go on with a chanting of this type, you will see your mind naturally turns within. It leads you to your real self. So, इस तरह के meditation techniques, hints towards them have been given in this Upanishad. And then he also tells you what will not get you this knowledge. Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na medhaya na bahuna shrutena yame vaisha vrunute tena labhya tasyesha atma vivrunute tanum swam. The meaning of this is, you will not get this knowledge just by a pravachan. You will not get it by hearing of it too much. Na medhaya, not even it's not just intellectual knowledge. Yame vaisha vrunute tena labhya. This has very deep meaning. It means, the literal translation is, him whom the Atman chooses, to him he will reveal himself. इसका मतलब है, देखिए, actually if you pay deep attention to something, you know what is attention? Have you thought about it? आपके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है ना attention? What is attention? It's a beam of your own awareness directed by your will. Whenever you pay sharp attention to something, your awareness comes into full play, isn't it? So attention is connected to awareness. Now what he is saying is, him whom the Atman chooses, if you pay enough attention to self-knowledge, the entire, your awareness will come into full bloom. So in a way, the awareness chooses to whom it will reveal itself. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Consciousness chooses to whom it will reveal itself. The meaning is this: you give so much, your complete attention, and you will have that knowledge. That is the meaning. So you see, he is actually pointing out how you can move towards self-knowledge. It is possible through self-effort. If you put in the right kind of self-effort, that itself is grace. Right kind of self-effort itself is grace. That brings you this knowledge. Any knowledge you see, you have to put in the initial effort, isn't it? And then the knowledge is unraveled to you. So this knowledge also is like that. बहुत बार glibly we talk of this, कि ये, is it a theory, is it just a construct, or is it really there? You see, they are discussing our own real identity. So they ask for only this much. Pay serious attention to what is being said, and you will get a glimpse of it. After this, he gives one more hint. He says, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudho atma na prakashate drishyate tvagraya buddhaya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibihi, which means it can be known by a very refined, sharp, absolutely committed intellect that will catch a glimpse of the self. What is this self? We have discussed it in many classes. What is it that they are talking about? Your real identity, a unit of pure consciousness which you are, which is manifesting through this body-mind complex. How to get there? This is our question, isn't it? Intellectually we have an understanding. How to get to the realization of it? They are pointing to you techniques. If you sharpen your intellect and direct it inwards, your own identity will be revealed. Your eye sense comes from where? That will be revealed to you. If you are not able to penetrate into it just like that through a very sharp intellect, employ a method like yoga, like nididhyasan, a meditation technique, some upasana technique, still your mind, sharpen your intellect and go within, it will be revealed to you. You will get some glimpse of it at least. So you see, definite techniques have been given to do this. And without this knowledge, as I have been telling you throughout the classes, without this knowledge, you see, if you have everything in life, but you don't know what life is, you don't know who you are, does it make any sense? You have everything else, but you don't know who you are. Your sense of yourself is constantly changing. You don't know what is your real identity, what the real I means in you, what is the unchanging element in you. So nothing will make much sense without this. And it is through this the subject is studying the objective world, isn't it? So knowledge of the subject, it's not a matter of choice. If you don't penetrate, get something of this, at least think deeply about it, you will not get the fulfillment that human life offers. See this for yourself. In fact, it is this urge only which has made you take this course also. What exactly you are seeking for, it is right within you, they are telling you. Or uske liye technique bhi hai, how to go there and get it. And you can get it through all these means they are pointing out. So it should be a matter of deep interest to us. Without this, you know, you can never be sure how your life will go. So that is also mentioned through an analogy of a chariot. This is a famous analogy from the Katha Upanishad. Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram rathamevatu, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, mana pragrahamevacha, indriyani hayanahu vishans teshu gocharan, atmendriya manoyuktam bhokte tyahur manishinaha. The meaning is, they are conceiving human life to be like a chariot ride. You know who's the rider? That is the Atman. The body is the chariot. And the reins, that is the mind. The charioteer is your intellect, the buddhi, and the horses are your senses. Now you see, for a chariot ride to be smooth and for the chariot to properly reach its destination, what all needs to happen? First of all, the horses, you know, they must move on track, isn't it? If they go out of track, your chariot is going, you are going to go somewhere else. For that, what do they do in a chariot? Have you seen chariots? They keep the horses blinkered. In the human life, the senses are the horses. Do we put blinkers? मैंने एक क्लास में आपको बताया था, the contents of your mind are decided by your sense exposures. Those blinkers means this. To a certain extent, your gaze should be directed towards what you want to achieve and how deep a life you want to live. If your gaze is just directed towards everything, everything is going to get into your mind. The selection process starts right here. So select the best for yourself always in life, and you will have a marvelous life, a very elevating life. So first thing is, the senses have to be blinkered. And then the reins should be held tight, isn't it? The mind are the reins. If you keep your mind very loose, absolutely no discipline in life, absolutely no concentration techniques practiced, just living a kind of erratic life, the reins are very loose. No matter who's the rider or what kind of charioteer you have, if the mind is loose, you cannot control the chariot of your life. Isn't this true? Who's the charioteer here? Your buddhi. If he is an intelligent and responsible person, you will have a good ride. If he is drunk or he is not even awake, half conscious, will you have a smooth ride? He will not hold the reins tight. So buddhi is the next element. You have to be particular. Live a conscious, intelligent life. Live a life committed to higher values. ये सब भीतर की चीजें अंदर से आनी चाहिए कि this is the way I want to lead my life. This is the road I want to travel to my destination. And then, well, the body is the chariot. Okay, that is what is moving through the road of life, and the rider is the Atman. You see, the charioteer will take orders only from there, from the rider. So how your soul is disposed towards what? What is your ultimate goal in life? That is going to decide how your chariot is going to go. So you see, at every level, some amount of discipline, conscious control is being asked, and then you will have a very smooth ride, he says. Otherwise, you don't know. You may even go off the road. So that's why these kind of analogies are given. Very many more beautiful ideas are given in this Upanishad. But we have only limited time, so I will go only bit by bit. By giving you all these ideas, what are they trying to tell you? आपका जो परिचय है, आपकी जो identity है, there is a unchanging core unit to it. If you have a glimpse of that, your entire mechanism of body, mind, intellect, everything can be controlled and brought into fruition, brought into fulfillment. If that unit is not, you don't identify yourself with that, you will not know how to handle this apparatus which you are calling the subject, the body mind complex. इसीलिए self knowledge इतना important होता है. I told you it's not a matter of choice. If you don't do some research at this level, the person who is handling this world, who's handling the objective world, who's seeing the objective world, who's perceiving the objective world, if that person itself is shaken, you have no knowledge of the subject, you will not be able to handle your situations properly, your environment properly. So that is why repeatedly this is being said. Now naturally a question pops up here. This Atman concept, is it a theory, a kind of theory constructed by this philosophy of Vedanta? Actually, what is Vedanta analyzing? It is not constructing. Theory is a thought construct, isn't it? It is not doing that. It is analyzing your existential awareness. You see, there are certain basic facts in your life which will show you that there must be, the real I must be somewhere deep within in the form of consciousness. Like I told you, you can cognize your mind as an object. Mind is an object of cognizance. What does this mean? You are apart from your mind. You pass through 3 states of experience, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. You pass through 3 states means you must be apart from them. You are able to say something about them, which means you are apart from them. You have conscious experiences, which means what? There must be consciousness in you for you to have conscious experiences. You see how many clues I am giving you, it's in your own experience. You have memories. Unless there is an unchanging, unmutating knower in the background, how do you connect 2 experiences in the form of memory, tell me? Do you see this? The clues are right in your own experience. This is called vichar, existential inquiry. If you do this repeatedly, you will become convinced of the fact there must be an enduring knower. I may not have been able to reach that state, but at least this conviction will come, ये किया जा सकता है, ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए, that's the real I. So this is the technique which Vedanta actually uses, and it gives a lot of logical backup to this. A lot of logic is used in Vedanta. So don't think it's just a theoretical construct, the concept of Atman. You can penetrate into this knowledge. This is what meditation is about. Today we will go deep into meditation techniques, because last class I stopped at Pratyahar. We will go today into Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. We will go into this, how it reveals to you this knowledge. But the essential point for you to note here is, we will have intellectual ideas, we will have logical forms in Vedanta, all of this, but the essential thing is the experience. The experience has to be caught. If you are of that type, like a Nachiketa, the conviction will arise immediately. But a little amount of meditation will put you into that state. So it is quite possible.